Hey guys, what's going on? This is Adam versus Jarrett, or indie versus metal. Gonna do some just question and answer. Versus sounds very combative, which this is going to be.
Let's just do the intro again. Sorry guys, indie's kind of a dick, and I'm trying to lighten up, the kind of how people think about it. So let's just do the intro again, but we'll be laughing as soon as it starts. Ready? Like I just said something really funny, and we'll both laugh.
3, 2. Sorry. Adam, Busch here, and Jarrett Sleeper, and we're gonna do Q&A together. Versus, we're calling it.
But it's not a competition.
It's not. It's all working together. Collaboration.
That felt good. That felt natural. They can cut out all the stuff that we're on.
Yep.
Cool.
Welcome to Versus, more behind-the-scenes content here on the MyMusic Show channel. I don't know why we're calling it Versus. It's really combative. But we're going to have a conversation. Ask each other questions, some of them that you wrote, some of them of our own. Supernatural. You were doing a thing over here?
No, I'm just trying
to... People aren't used to seeing you smile.
I do it all the time.
As indie.
That's indie doesn't smile, but I'm really comfortable just...
Looks so natural. Look at that. How's that feel? Is that uncomfortable for you?
It really hurts my face.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of muscles to smile that you don't work out that often.
Cry, but let me
You got it.
I'll get it.
You got it. No pain, no gain. There you go. It's weird.
Why is it natural?
It's weird to see you smile, which is funny. It's not weird to see you break and laugh. It's not weird to see you involuntarily start to that's not weird. But seeing you just try to hold a smile is so weird.
Because if I laugh, it's usually not voluntary.
It's not. It's so
I'm
satisfying. Anytime it's usually the times I get you to your mustache would be falling off and stuff and things.
That's always funny.
And you'd be like, stop,
Yeah.
Which is the best. Okay. Guys, I'm going to ask you a question from the fans.
I don't know what to do with my hands when I smile.
You want to just show them off? What is going on?
Well, I'm just trying to get them to understand me, not just the character. We're trying to break their whole...
There's no difference.
What?
Do you feel uncomfortable?
Indy's like a classic villain. I give to many people's Kickstarters.
All of my closest friends' Kickstarters. Do you have friends who use Kickstarter?
I do.
Really?
I do, yeah.
A lot?
I don't have one person that uses it a lot, but I have a few friends that have used it, yeah. Because if somebody keeps using Kickstarter...
Yeah, that's really funny. How many failed Kickstarters
project.
where you were like, we get it?
There's been a couple failed ones. The most recent one I'm interested in is Adam Green trying to raise money for the movie Aladdin. He's going to shoot it in New York City.
Is this a joke or is this real?
Really real. And he wants less than $50,000 to do it.
Less than $50,000?
Yeah, to remake Aladdin with Macaulay Culkin and Aaliyah Shirkat from
I don't know who that is.
Arrested Development. She plays Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, she's so funny.
Yes. So they're going to do Aladdin. Adam Green, writing and
The
directing.
Disney Aladdin? With the songs and stuff? Or a version of Aladdin?
A version of Aladdin.
A version of the
Arabian Nights.
The Arabian Nights.
Right. In New York City with them for less than $50,000. I donated. You
That's
can donate.
Terrific.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes.
Right?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
His previous movie...
Who's the genie?
The Wrong Ferrari was really good. I don't know. It's yet to be on cast. Maybe we can weigh in. Maybe it's one of the perks.
Macaulay's not the genie, though.
I don't think so.
Macaulay's the Aladdin.
I think so.
That makes sense, I guess.
I want to let them, the whole point of donating to some of these Kickstarters, let them feel free to make the decisions. I'm just trying to support their vision.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to weigh in.
I haven't Kickstarted anything.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know why I haven't felt compelled.
I had a friend the other day say, they came into some money, and they said, I used to give to homeless people all the time, but now I just tip really well. That's not the same thing.
That is not the same thing at all.
I can see how you would think it might trickle down.
Yeah.
But that's not. No.
Hilarious.
Poor people. What on earth is that? What on earth is that?
That's that Eddie Izzard joke.
That is.
A plumber? You're a plumber? What on earth is that?
Yeah.
The Queen.
Yes.
That's funny.
Let them eat cake.
Eddie Izzard?
Cake or death.
Cake or death!
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into some questions. That sounds sinister the way I laughed afterwards.
It did. And now, continuing.
Okay. Let's get into some questions. Not much better.
No, that had like a Downton Abbey villain vibe.
Let's
arch. That's the word they use. Arch.
Why don't we try some questions? Craig from Facebook asks, how did it feel to be the boss of everyone on the show?
I'm not really the boss.
You don't feel like when you're playing the boss, though, it's like nice? Does it feel different?
I never forget that, Ben and Rafi are in charge.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, not even, like, the way I think of it is like, if you gotta, like, make out with somebody and you're acting, Like, it's just acting, but it's still nice to do. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's just acting, but you're in charge. But is it nice for those moments to be the boss? Are you power hungry in general?
Let's start with your admittance of...
It's always nice. Come on. If it's nice for... Not always. I mean, it was nice making out with Jack.
Well, of course that. Everybody dreams.
Everybody dreams.
Everybody dreams. But
only a couple of us in the show have gotten to do it.
Ask me the question again?
How did it feel to be the boss of everyone on the show?
What does it feel like to be the boss? The best part is that usually when there's a group meeting, I get to sit. And when we do the big blocking scenes with all the characters, I usually just have to stand in one place. So those are two positives of being the boss on MyMusic.
You wouldn't think of those. Mm-hmm. You were just watching.
Mm-hmm. Because it's very difficult to block, all the people. But I'm usually just in one corner and I stay there.
Would you say that the line blurs more on this show than other shows?
The line
between the character and the actor?
Oh.
More or less or the same?
Well, I'd say that's usually a sign of a good show. If the writers are starting to write to the actual actors and have their quirks kind of seep into the characters, and that's the sign of things going right. Or at least having some good writers with you.
Right.
When it always feels like, how are we going to pull... How is she going to do that? But asking Grace to sing a pop song off key, it's just right all around. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. But having Chris have to play someone who has to show a lot of emotion without using any words, we've got the right guy.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
He's really talented. Mm-hmm. He's like a classically trained, like, Shakespearean actor, which comes through, I feel like.
Moving on to Hannah R. from YouTube. She wants to know, do you play any instruments in real life? That works for me.
Do I? Not really.
No.
I can play, like, one song on the guitar.
Which one?
I don't know what it's called. I learned it in Suzuki guitar when I was, like, 12, classical guitar.
You went all the way to Japan to study guitar?
Yeah. It's not like Suzuki theater.
Oh.
It's like...
Kabuki theater?
It's not like that. It's like a method of teaching kids to play instruments that's supposed to be, like, more natural, like, about, like, sound and hearing it out. I don't know.
How does it work?
I wasn't very studious.
Standing up.
But I did like classical guitar. So you put on this leg and you hit a footstool. So I can play one song. It's like a minuet, and it goes bum 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 bum, and it uses like different finger picking things. I'm really proud of it. It's like the only thing I can do, and now I got to do it kind of slow still. But I have this like fantasy, and I sing a little bit sometimes. But I have this fantasy of learning to play just Clair de Lune like really well on the piano. So that anytime there's a piano somewhere, because it's like the most beautiful thing ever. So that someone can be like, do you play? And be like, oh, no, I don't know. And then just go like, dun, you know what I mean? I think that's really a great idea. That's
Everybody loves Debussy.
Debussy is Debussy. How do you say it?
Debussy? Debussy?
I don't know. I always say Debussy.
Claude? I just say Claude.
It's like Bobby. Did you see Heat with Bobby?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Bobby's in that. He's great.
Oh, he's terrific.
He's great. He's with Al.
Bobby and Al.
And Heat. Alan. I call him Alan.
Alan.
Because I like to take longer to say.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Please do. I'm just going to shuffle these around until you do.
Oh, here's a nice one. I like. Preston M. from Facebook asked, what's the indiest thing you've ever done? I thought that segued from the blurring lines question nicely.
Yeah. Okay, the indiest thing I ever did. I swear this is real. I toured remote Yupik Indian fishing villages in Alaska playing folk music.
This is true! That's true!
So we brought guitars and instruments to the Russian fishing villages of Alaska and performed American folk songs for the Yupik Indians. And then they did their tribal dance for us. And then on dog sled, we would travel to the next village and play for them. It's all documented on YouTube.
Yeah, you made a music video here.
We did.
Oh man, we're gonna link to that right now. It's in the annotation. The link's right here.
That's so indie that if that was in the script, I would have to pull the fines aside to say you have to remove this because it's so unbelievable that anybody would do this.
That is pretty tremendous. It sounded amazing. You told me a story about that one time. It sounds...
Yeah, it was really incredible. We performed for them, and then they did their, tribal dance for us, which starts with the youngest member of the village, and then it goes in age order until the whole village is doing. But it's a real mix of dance moves that were like handed down generation to generation, and also stuff they just saw on the internet. So it's like, you know, we travel far away to play basketball. Because that was the big thing that they had done in Kotlik, Alaska, was travel to another fishing village to play them in basketball.
It's amazing.
I wanted to seem like we were just having a really interesting conversation.
We were.
So being just like, Fecklin, you know, I'll just bring it right into. Right.
Wow.
That's why it wasn't even my burlap sack. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back here with some questions for Jarrett. This is a personal one. Does having a viral video change you as a person? You can speak to that.
Is that really the question?
No need to look.
I'm not going to look. I think that's amazing. Was that really the question?
Does having a viral video change you as a person?
No.
No.
I mean...
Okay.
I just keep thinking that it's funny to ask that, like when the word viral, I'm just stuck on the notion of it as a disease. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, you caught something.
Yeah.
By having it.
You infected a lot of people.
Oh, God. Or I was infected. Like, I'm changed now that I've had this virus. Now that I've had this viral video.
Did it infecting others, in fact, infect you?
It did. It changed, like, a course of things, I feel like. Not in a profound way. It was a really privileged experience to really... Because it was genuinely viral. Like, I had, like... It wasn't because the TheFineBros put it up or something, and it wasn't because, you know, I had 70 subscribers on my YouTube channel, so it wasn't like there was no fan base or anything starting it. It was like we put it up at 9 p.m. on a Sunday, the How to Big a Girl at the Gym thing. We filmed for like 30 minutes, and I finished, you know, and I put it up at 9 p.m. And the next morning it was front page of Reddit. Mm-hmm. And to watch that organically from the inside was pretty rad. I mean, like, that's such a wild thing. And those numbers, I had like a total existential thing about it, because like... First, it was like 300,000 people in a day or something. You're like, oh my God. By the end of the day, it was like 1 million people. And then it was like 2 million. It just kept getting crazy. It was like 10 million in a week. Mm-hmm. And then, you get calls from like a lot of things or email contacts from, and that was all like cool. But like, really the craziest thing is like, the gag is called How to Pick Up a Girl at the Gym. And it's like throwing a girl. I remember like, I was telling my family all knew about it and stuff like that, and I like a little bit later I was with my grandma, and my grandma was like, "What's your video called?" She was like, "How to Throw a Woman," and I was like, "You got it, Grandma," because she was so right, you know. Mm-hmm. Like to me, it was like a really blatant. I mean, I always get in my head about this stuff, but it was like a really like a ironic. It was a vaudevillian-y kind of thing, just a stunt, a gag, a pun, but like, you know. The part about like throwing a girl, like throwing a woman and like those women as an object thing, I mean, I take this too seriously. But like I had a whole spiral about it where it was like, because all the comments are just dudes like throw her in the kitchen or like, you know, this horrible stuff.
Right.
And I was like trying to break down like why I thought a viral video worked. Like after that, like what makes a viral video work. And the things they came up with were like less than a minute. Like there's no words, so it can be in any language. It's like got a physical stunt that's like moderately impressive and silly. The pun helps, like in America at least. And then there's 2 reversals, I think. Like you have an expectation that's set up and then surprised again. The first one being like that it's a person, and the second one being like then you throw her in this crazy way. And then beyond that, I was like, there's violence against women. There's like this suggested violence against women. Mm-hmm. And that's dark and to think about, but I really, you know, that was like, I think a lot had to do with its success.
Yeah, that brings everyone together.
I mean, on the internet, it's kind of a dark place sometimes, and I don't know, so I felt like really weird about it. And a lot of people who knew me, like, you know, and that's all the whole, like, don't read comments on the internet thing, and just, like, I think the inherent, when you think about that, like, 13 million people seeing a thing, like, just, I don't know, I had a whole weird, like, oh, man, I made the world a worse place with a stupid gag that I, like, had this idea and filmed this thing in 20 minutes, you know? Anyway, I don't think it was that bad. In the long run, it's just like silly and was a thing, but it definitely prevented me from capitalizing on it. It was interesting to talk to the TheFineBros afterwards because they're such geniuses with all this stuff.
Right.
And they were like, if you really want to build a following off this, or, you know, they were like, you just throw a girl every week. You just pick up a girl in a different location, do the same gag every Monday. Do it at the bus stop, do it at the bar, do it at whatever, and then you have this show, the Pick Up the Girl show, and everybody tunes in every Monday. Maybe you get 100,000 views a week, and then you build this audience, and then you can do whatever you want with them. Like once they start to build, and that's genius and true and right. Like that was a big learning thing for me. But I was just so frozen in this like anxiety and weird existential whatever of like making the world a worse place with a dumb joke on the internet. I couldn't do that. I made a couple little videos there. Like I made one more Pick Up a Girl just because I had another gag I wanted to do with this physical gag, and then I did the kid comes out of the closet and parents flip because the election was that week, and I was like, I want to try to do something with like a positive message about like, you know, whatever, because gay rights was a big thing in that election. Anyway, so that went like really serious, but like in terms of how that viral thing affected me, like it was really weird at the time. It felt really intense, and I tend to take things too intensely when they're happening, but like it was kooky. It's anything that you have 13 million people look at is like gonna become an insane thing in your own head if you made it, I feel like.
Can you set out to make a viral video?
No. I mean, yes, you can.
You seem to have a pretty good formula there.
Well, I just don't think, I think you can do things like without, like you can't make, well, I mean, I'd say you can't make a 30-minute viral video, but that Coney thing was like insane, you know? So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that are hallmarks of something that makes it work, or that doesn't make it work, that allows it to work. But you can't guarantee it's going to be a thing that hooks. Because with other videos, like remember the double rainbow guy? Like that video had been around on the internet for almost a year already. And then for some reason one day it landed on Reddit or wherever it landed. You know, if you can get to the front page of Reddit, that'll make you have a viral video. But, you know, you can't really fake that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can buy them. I think ad agencies are starting to figure out the formulas better, some of them. But even them, you know, you can't like buy true virality.
Well, it's an interesting thing where people are more likely to click on something if it has that many views.
That too. Well, there's that whole thing like money makes money. So like views make views, I feel like.
People won't buy the cheapest bottle of wine on the menu. They have to order one higher.
And if you see a video that's trending, because that was the other thing. So we got enough views fast enough that I got to the front page of YouTube, which guarantees another like 2 million views just being there. Because like, oh, everyone's watching it, let me see that too. There was a really funny, like I remember Gawker or something, one of those sites that was like, this video owns the internet today. And we really did. Like we got front page of like Reddit and BuzzFeed and everything in one day with that silly 1-minute video. And the commentary was like, this video's everywhere today, but does it deserve to be?
Yeah.
And I was like...
The backlash starts 6 hours in.
I was like, you're right. I don't know if this deserves to be, but it is. And that's what was so weird about the truly viral nature of it, was like, why this one, you know? It just hooked in, and Slow News Day, it was on a Monday. I don't know. The funny thing, too, is then my mom and some people I know work, and they all people try to analyze these metrics of like why things work or how to make social media stuff work, how to leverage that thing correctly. And I loved that the way our video went, because it was very vindicating for my general, like, nothing makes any sense, / like, just have a video, an idea that's good, and put it out there. And if it is, then people will latch onto it, and if not, then not. I mean, it made me laugh when I did it, and almost everyone I've shown it to who's never seen it does get surprised and laugh. And if you can actually create that organic, like, surprise moment, maybe there's something worthy in that. But anyway, it was a kooky experience. And it also did, you know, push me into like, you know, making more videos and stuff like that. So I guess that changed a lot for me.
But it's like that if a tree falls and no one is around to hear it, did it ever fall? If you have a viral video and you didn't capitalize on it, did it really ever happen?
Well, that's true. I mean, like, that's totally a valid thing. And I think we didn't capitalize on it in that way, but we did capitalize in the sense of, like, we continue to make videos. We didn't capitalize it in the way that, like, could have gotten us a serious following and made us, like, already established as YouTubers.
Right.
But it gave me a lot of experience, like, making more videos and starting me down this road of making more stuff. And I don't think I really have aspirations of being, like, a YouTuber. Like, I know all these wonderful YouTubers who really do it. And maybe I'm just not naturally from that world enough or whatever. But learning a lot from it, I still love, though, it's taught me a lot about initiative of just making your own things.
Yeah.
You know, of trying to start producing your own stuff. And even if they're 1-minute videos, those become 3-minute videos. And those become 5. And you know, maybe we'll live the dream of making the movies I wanted to do when I was a kid, you know? Anyway.
Cool.
I guess it did. Yeah. All right, I'm going to ask you a question now.
Okay, but since we just came back, I just told you a really funny joke. And then it was really funny. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, ping pong balls. I thought you said King Kong's balls. It's an oldie but a good.
Oh, man.
It's an oldie one.
I f***ed it up at the end.
Oh, okay.
At first it seemed real.
It did.
It seemed like this, and then I couldn't complete it.
It's believable. I think it's believable that I made you laugh that hard.
You do make me laugh that hard. That's true. That bright spot sometimes just drops. Oh, can you pick that up from me? No. Like, you ever do that move?
I do.
Do you really do that move?
I mean, I knock stuff over. I don't ask people to pick it up for me, though. But I am thirsty, and now there's no water.
In that case, I'm going to ask whatever I want to ask. Yeah. David Bowie or Freddie Mercury? That's the whole question.
I mean, let's take two similar great geniuses and
see
which one I prefer randomly.
Yeah. Okay. Do you? I mean, do you don't have an instinctive? I prefer that one.
No, I don't. They're both amazing.
A lot of people do. I would. I have one, but I'm just that's why I was.
Who would win in a fight? David Bowie.
You think David Bowie would win in a fight?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I sense a lot more anger.
Oh well, I think just sheer
physicality. Freddie Mercury.
Technical prowess.
Dancer.
Anger. That's anger winning fights is just something that trained people laugh about.
Okay.
Okay. Freddie Mercury, man. He's. I bet he tucks his head and.
Yeah, wily.
Yeah, I just feel like that would be scary.
I can see that.
I think Freddie Mercury's amazing.
I think they're both amazing.
They're both amazing, man. So you didn't have an answer.
I started by saying Freddie Mercury.
In a fight.
Yeah, let's just say Freddie Mercury. I'll go with Queen.
Do you overall pick that? I feel like if you could pick one, if you could pick one vocalist that is alive, not with your own voice, not alive, one vocalist ever.
Not with my own voice.
Not your own voice, because you're a singer also with a lovely voice.
Stop it. I thought you meant I can't answer in my own voice.
No, if you could,
James.
Would you pick Ed James? If you could pick a voice to have, is there a singer whose voice you admire, you wish you could do what they do?
I want to be able to talk all the time like the homeless radio announcer guy.
Really? Oh, just so speaking voice.
Yeah, I want to talk like that all the time. But I want to sing like... like Freddie Mercury at the end of Somebody to Love.
That's why I asked you. I was leading that question because that's my answer to that question always.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back around before you're even landed.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think Freddie Mercury's voice is just mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
That's Under Pressure is so amazing.
And he can, any style he can do. He could do a Broadway musical. He could do punk. He could do anything you want.
I feel like the lyricism and the musicality he gets in stadium rock is so mind blowing.
And the songwriting and the piano playing.
Yeah.
And the half microphone stand before Axl Rose.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a mustache too.
I know. Well, we didn't even bring that up in the who would win in a fight thing. Mm-hmm. That mustache alone is so intimidating.
Mm-hmm. It's the opposite of the indie mustache.
Yeah, that is like I don't know if you know who Don Fry, the Predator, is. He was in the early days of MMA when rules were very limited and fights were tournament style.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a mustache that's like that suggests that's who he is. You know what I mean? If you Google it, this will make sense.
I believe you.
Okay. I'm asking another question.
Okay.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
There was an earthquake in New York in the early...
Really?
Mm-hmm. The early 90s. And I remember... No, this was before that even. I remember walking out of my room as a kid and everything shaking.
Wow.
And walking into my parents' room.
How old are you?
Kind of it's my earliest memory.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's one before that actually. I remember walking in my parents' room and kind of seeing everything shaking and being like, well, they seem okay with it, so I'm just gonna go back in. And before that, I have a memory of crawling out of my crib and going downstairs. And I only know it because I remember the perspective of being low to the ground.
Yeah.
And of the carpet and all that stuff. That not very exciting memories.
Yeah. No. I get that. There's that reminded me of something. Oh well, one, the perspective thing. You ever been back to a childhood home? I went back to my home that I grew up in, and I left by the time I was 12. But I grew up almost my whole life up until 12, probably 3 to 12. And it was so crazy how small it was. You know? Because I remembered it being this massive place. I was like, that's a big house. Which is so funny to think. You just take that for granted.
It was like that in my elementary school when I visited Barnum Woods Elementary.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how
small lockers are and
those
hallways
were huge to me.
Which also explains why middle school is so scary when you first get there. Because just sheer size. It's intimidating to see those huge hallways. You go back and you're like, what was I so afraid of?
I got swallowed up before.
Now you have identity and...
Yeah, you got a duck.
It's interesting, natural disasters in places they aren't supposed to happen is so crazy. There was a thing where it was called a microburst in the town I grew up in, the same house too. And it wasn't...
I feel like I'm having one of those every 15 minutes.
It's not an anxiety thing.
Oh.
I could see it being that way though. It's a good metaphor. But it was like, it's like a hurricane force winds descend on a spot for like for like 15, 20 seconds and then just go away. And it was so insane. We thought there was a tornado. We didn't know what was going on. It was just like almost out of nowhere. The winds pick up, and then you're like, oh my God, this is a really crazy wind. And like I remember the front door of our house, like it sounded like it was screaming, like the wood was splitting almost. And my dad was like, get in the basement. We must like figured there was a tornado or something. And you came outside, and because literally 30 seconds, it was the whole thing, and the whole town was like trees had fallen and taken the front off of houses, and like telephone poles had smashed cars. It was so surreal. It was like aliens came down. Yeah.
But only briefly.
Only for like 30 seconds. That's the earthquake in New York made me think of that.
It seems like it'd be a hard thing to try and convince somebody just happened if they missed it.
Yeah.
Like, who would believe that?
Like, if somebody was napping, they'd be like, why did everything fall over?
What did you do?
Yeah.
I swear.
No, there was a microburst. Imagine if it was something minor, like you just broke the window or something like that, and you had been playing catch or something.
Right.
You clearly broke the window. No.
Yeah, microburst.
Microburst. That doesn't even exist.
That's not a thing.
Anxiety can't break windows.
Anxiety can move mountains.
It can do a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, earliest memory I have?
Mm-hmm.
I had two. One, they're both painful. They're memories of pain, literal pain. Like, first I thought it was one where I found a box cutter and cut myself. And I remember my grandpa finding me and being like, like I just found like in a house, the kind of the orange thing with the you know what I mean?
I know what a box cutter is.
It's very specific in my mind. And I was like, oh no. And then I had this flash one day. I had eaten like a huge bag of dried apricots. Like,
how old are you?
This is when I was a grown-up.
Okay.
This is how I remember this memory. This is how I came to find a earlier memory. And it was dry. You're not supposed to eat that many dried apricots.
Why?
Because they're really hard on your intestinal tract.
All right.
So I got to the spot where I had been sitting on the toilet for probably 40 minutes. Just apricots coming out of me.
Right.
Chewed apricots, like I'd eaten
Hopefully,
them.
yeah.
But like, you could see, it was just apricots, and everything hurt. Like, I was just burning so bad down there. And I had this very vivid, sudden memory of being a baby, like a tiny baby, and getting my diaper changed, and my mom putting that stuff that soothes your butt on you.
Sure.
You know, that
Talcum
like,
powder.
you're not supposed, no, it was like a cream.
Huh.
In the white and blue toothpaste tube. And I had a vivid memory of like lying on my back like a baby and like getting my butthole wiped with this cream that was soothing. And I was like, that sounds great right now. New earliest memory. I must have been 2.
Wrapped in a more recent, equally as disgusting memory.
Very painful memory.
Not just the memory, but the trigger.
I guess my original earliest memory was painful, but my second one was actually very soothing and healing. So
well,
now my earliest memory is one of horrible burning pain in your butthole being soothed by a mom.
It sounds more like a fantasy longing.
Well, it's come to
like
play
that.
in my life in other ways,
and
which
the
we
point
don't
is,
have to get into.
I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Getting real.
As it comes up, make it seem like I just said something like really profound, and now you get it. So just give me like oh, you realize now because I just said something really, really smart. It's like Jaja says that she didn't provoke the cop. She says the cop provoked her.
Oh.
Yeah. Huh. Anyway, we're back with some questions for Jarrett. Who would you like to play you in your life story?
Who would play me?
In the movie.
In the movie?
In the Sleeper movie.
That's challenging. Someone who's gonna show up eventually. Jack Douglas.
Ah, there it is. There it is. All right.
Or Tom Cruise.
One of the others.
Well, you know, one world or the other.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jack is the Tom Cruise of YouTube.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that?
Yeah, I do. I think I do.
I could see that, actually. If you had to pick parallels.
Between... Yeah, I mean, neither one of them takes any shit from anybody. Like, they're both madly in love.
They do their own stunts.
They do.
Both of them. Both of them are much better when playing villains. Because they have a secret streak of, like, when Jack does his sinister thing, he's just like Tom Cruise in Collateral.
They both have smiles that are too big for their own heads. Like, it's a lot to take in when they both smile.
It's a lot to take in. It's very much them, though. It's like, no one else could do that.
Yes. you go through the eyes to get to the soul of some people. Them two, you go right through the mouth.
Right through the teeth.
Right through the teeth.
Real. You read Sandman.
What's that?
You read Sandman.
I did.
Neil Gaiman.
I did.
That reminds me of the Corinthian.
Who's
got the teeth for eyes.
Uh-huh.
So the idea that like the window to your soul is just full of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Carnivorous souls.
That's like Jack.
That's like Jack.
And like Tom.
When you look into there, it's like there's some abyss that just consumes you.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just going to get chewed up and spit out by it.
What's going to be fun is that while I did read The Sandman, I think 3 times at this point.
Wow.
I wasn't sure who the Corinthian was when you first said it. So when you said with the teeth, I quickly agreed and went, yeah, with the teeth, and then you moved it up to the eyes. And you said, yeah, with the teeth in the eyes. And I just kind of went, like, yeah. Like I just kind of followed you. Whatever you would have said. If you would have said...
Oh, that's reassuring, though.
Yeah.
That, like, at least while the cameras are rolling, you're just going to go with it.
Well, that's the worst quality in the world, because you see those, they do those on the late night talk shows, the interviews where... What did you think of the State of the Union? But the State of the Union is on that night.
Yeah, well, that's
people are very quick to be like, "Oh, it was amazing! I learned a lot."
Or like the Coachella, the fake bands thing.
What'd you think of Hillary Clinton at Coachella? Oh, she's the best band out there.
Yeah,
people just say.
I just think she's coming out with some amazing stuff.
Right,
just really
that was me. You were just like the Corinthian, yeah, with the wherever on the face you say there.
Well, I wasn't trying to.
But I can tell you now that the Corinthian is something Dream created to destroy bad dreams. I mean, he sent them there to be the be-all, end-all of bad dreams. And then had to destroy his own creation.
He destroys bad dreams.
And then
I never got that for some reason.
He was the most evil of all evil.
But he's the most evil of all evil.
Right.
Much like Jack. Who's also there to destroy bad dreams.
Right.
So evil that he's consuming other bad things.
Exactly.
So he's almost so evil he's good.
Just like Tom Cruise.
Which is, I feel, very encapsulated in Jack's whole thing.
But the nicest guy you ever meet.
The nicest guy you ever meet. Because he's at his core, his base thing is to defend you against other bad things.
Which is amazing. When you think about the smile.
Do you ever think... I was always blown away when I realized the word nightmare literally referred to like a horse in the night. Like a mare. Like the imagery of a nightmare as a dark horse.
Now I won't be sleeping. Thank you for that.
Be sure you keep tuning in. Or behind the scenes stuff going on the MyMusic Show channel. Gonna have some bloopers and fun stuff and just some more silly conversations between cast members. Podcasts. Stick around. See you, knuckleheads.